Hi there. So before starting this video, if you haven't watched my previous videos, please do watch all the videos in the playlist because it's a sequence series of videos. So unless you watch the previous ones, whatever I'm gonna train you today in this video, it might not make sense to you, right? Unless you have prior SQL experience. That being said, let's quickly dive into, there are a couple of loopholes in the insert statement that we have written yesterday. The loopholes, one of the loophole is created by the way we created the create table statement. And the second loophole is more to do with the way we enter the data into the table. However, in both the loopholes will impact the integrity of the data in long run, right? If you're not careful, there will be a lot of inconsistencies um, in the data in the table gender, right? Let's see what the inconsistencies are, right? I'll explain both the loopholes and you can and also like explain how to address loophole number one. And then loophole number two is an advanced topic. For that, we need to learn triggers. That we will address that in the future videos, not right now, but let's address the loophole one first, okay? So let's talk about, let's say I'll call it loophole one, right? Data integrity issue. Okay, so right now the table gender is empty. I truncated the table before starting the recording. So let's say I'm gonna copy this and paste the same SQL under loophole one, and I'm going to execute this. And I haven't changed any structure or anything. It's the same structure that we earlier used. So if I execute the statement, it's going to insert 3 records, right? So if I select the table, I can see 3 records in here. So probably I did not truncate it properly last time. So let me truncate it and then insert it. I can go into the table. Okay, so now we have the table inserted, the records inserted the right way. So now let's say if I execute this insert statement again, right? So I'm going to execute the same insert statement again. Look at here, the 3 records got inserted one more time, right? And if I run this, look at here. These are duplicates, right? So what's happening is there is a primary key on the gender ID. However, because there is no constraints on the gender short description and gender long description, programmatically you're allowed to add as many similar records as possible, whereas gender ID is an auto increment, so it kind of auto increments by itself. However, because there's no constraints here, the duplicates are being entered into the table, therefore leading to data redundancy issues, right? So that is loophole number one. Okay, let's look at loophole number two. So I'll just copy this. It's also a data integrity issue, so I'm going to make it, call it that way. So we entered 6 records, right? So I'm going to copy paste this and put it into here. And let's say M is here. Obviously, in the gender long description, you can only enter male, female, and other. So for example, let's say for M, I will manually enter female, right? Which is incorrect, right? And F, I'm going to enter male. And other, I'm going to make it male again, right? So if I do that, loophole number 2, by the way. So if I execute this, the records got inserted. And if you look at the select statement, you can see even though the combinations of short description and long description are incorrect and incompatible, still the records got inserted, right? There is some kind of conditional inserts needs to be put in place. By the way, loophole 2 can be addressed in many different ways. There's a lot of ways where you can use an update statement, and also you can use like not exist statement and all that, which we'll learn as part of this program. However, I'm going to show you a way where it's automatically updated using triggers, right? So that will be done in the later portion of this series. Okay, so loophole 2 is not, we're not going to address loophole 2 in this video. Okay, it's going to happen. It's going to cause data integrity issues in future, but that is something we're going to address it in future videos. Okay, so let's address the loophole 1. So loophole 1 is causing data duplication. That's what it is causing. So that is the main problem that we need to address, right? So for this reason, we need to make some changes to the way we use this create table statement. That way we can address the loophole 1, which is, which is stopping data to be duplicated, right? So if you observe here, M male is duplicated, F female duplicated, or other, and you can duplicate it like how much ever times you want, right? So basically, and accidents happen, and that's how like bad data gets into your tables, right? It's a scenario right here. So I'm going to introduce a keyword called unique key. So what is unique key? We learned about primary key, right? We learned about primary key here. What is unique key, right? So in order to enforce uniqueness of values in a column, we have primary key, right? So this is primary key right here. It's pretty unique. There's no way you can enter a duplicate data into a primary key column, not even a null value as well, right? However, each table can contain only one primary key. You cannot add as many primary keys as you want. So you only will have one primary key, right? So, but primary key can be created on multiple columns, but you can only have one, right? So that's when if you have like more columns that demand such uniqueness in your table, in this case, yes, gender short description and gender long descriptions are unique as well. There should be only 3 records, which is male, female, and other. So in such cases, we cannot use primary key multiple times. So RDBMS, which is relational databases, most relational databases have a concept called unique key, right? Which creates a unique index behind the scenes, but let's focus on unique key. So this unique key will enforce uniqueness of values in a particular column or set of columns, right? And to create a unique key, we need to make some modifications to the create table statement so we can have the unique key created. So I'm going to just copy and paste here, and I'm going to call it as gender short. I'll make it more descriptive, and I'll say UK, right? UK is unique key, right? And I'm going to, instead of primary key, I'll call it unique key, and I'm going to specify the gender short description here. See, one of the primary differences between primary key and unique key, you can ask me like, what is the primary difference? Is primary key will not accept null values in its columns, so you cannot add, right? Whereas unique key also accepts null value as one of the unique value. So that's the difference, right? That's the only difference. So, and then I'm going to create one more, and I'm going to use long description here. Copy paste, and then here. So here I'm adding 2 constraints. One is gender short description and gender long description. You can also ask me like, how come you can add both the columns in here itself, right? This comma this, which is totally possible. You can do that as well. But if you do that, then you're actually looking at the combination of gender short description and gender long description as unique. In that case, the user, is pretty much, given that, we'll be able to insert wrong combination of short description and long description. For example, M male, M female, F male, F female, M other. So all these combinations they'll be able to enter. So hence we are making these constraints separately, right? And there are places where you should be able to add unique constraints with multiple columns in it, right? So make sure it's comma separated, right? You need to put a comma right next to the end of the statement, and the very end you don't have to put it in the very end. And pretty much it's a create table statement. We just added these two right here, right? Okay, so because we are going to recreate this table, I'm going to drop the table quickly, which means the entire data that we entered and the table structure, everything will be purged. So that's it, gone. And now I'm going to create the table with the unique constraints added, right? The table is now created. You can see here, right now, there is no unique constraints here, right? It's just like a normal column, but, and then if you go in here, you can see there's no data in here. And now I'm going to insert the data for the very first time, right? I'm inserting the data. So the first 3 records got entered, and you can see here, right? And now let's see if I try to do loophole 1, right? But try to take advantage by executing loophole 1. Look at here, it's going to throw an error. It's going to throw an error saying that, hey, you cannot enter duplicate entries into gender short description, right? And so on, right? So this is how you can resolve the issue that is caused by loophole 1, which is data duplication, right? Again, I just want to repeat one more time at the end. Loophole 2 is a serious problem as well. This issue will be resolved in future videos, and I'm going to show you how to solve it.